Hey guys, it's Carla. Today I'm using a 5x7 canvas panel. On my palette I've got white, golden sunset, lime tree, harvest orange, Caribbean, and burnt umber. All right. So I'm going to start, I guess, with my background. And I'm going to start with my round brush. Get some water on it. All right, so I want my robe to be fairly light. So I'm going to use some white and I guess a little bit of the gold. All right, so I just want to scumble this in very loosely. Okay. Try to remember to intentionally leave some of the background showing through. All right. And now to that color, I'm going to add a little bit of the green. And just along the road, just going to dab in some greenery. And maybe I'll use that same mixture and just add a little blue to it. I want the background to stay fairly light because I want them to show up well against it. Very loosely scrubbing this in. Okay, now right along the edge of the road, I'm going to put in a kind of a darker shade. but I'm just barely touching it so that I don't get a lot on there. Just to kind of define the road a little bit. And this will also help to cover up your pencil lines. And I'm going to put a little bit of water on my palette and mix up some thin blue. And just like I did the other shade, I'm just going to kind of scumble this in. All right. Now I'm going to go ahead and start on them, and probably come back to my background. So for their hair, I'm going to start with just the brown, and I'm using that pointy brush so that I can get into this small area. Alright, now the bottom of his foot is dark, shaded. And a little bit throughout. Bottom of his foot. Now a little bit lighter shade for the rest of the skin. All right. Okay. Now I want to come up with a color for their robes. I want Jesus's robe to be light and these to be darker. So since I'm right-handed, I'm going to start over here and go this way. So for this one, I think maybe orange, brown, Now I want to keep my brush strokes going in the direction that the creases are in the robes. And I can come back and put highlights and shadows in. But notice how I didn't fill it all in. I'm leaving little specks of the background. I guess I'll go ahead and finish that one before I move on to the next one. So I'm picking up a little bit darker color, and just here and there I want to add in some creases and shadows. Alright, now for the next one, actually I'm gonna put a little more color in that. Just play around with your colors. Maybe something like that. All right, now the next robe, let's see. Maybe I want it to be more orange. I still want it to be kind of dull though, so not just the straight orange. Okay, now with the darker shade, put in my folds. And a highlight color for that one, or not a highlight color, but just a little extra color. Let's see. Just go with that gold color. Alright, now I'm going to start on Jesus's robe, which I forgot to paint his face right here. Okay. Now for his robe, I want it to be mostly white, so I need a base color for that. Can't just paint white against white, it won't have any definition. my brush disappears, I'm just picking up water. Alright, now for my darker areas, some watered down brown. Alright, let me give him a belt right here where this is showing. And now I want to come back with almost white. Just dirty it up a little bit. Alright, now for the shadows. Alright, I want the shadows to be kind of a bluish shade, but not this shade of blue. Now orange will dull down my blue a little bit because they're opposite on the color wheel. So that might give me the shade I want. I think that will give me the base shade that I want, and then I can put little blue highlights in. So I'm just gonna scumble this on, almost scrubbing it out on. You don't have to exactly stay in the lines or anything. I want it to be a little bit darker right up where they are. And then just get lighter on out. And then I wanted to add in some little blue highlights here and there. Okay, now I'm trying to decide whether to leave my outlines or erase what I didn't cover up, or even come back with like a marker and darken the outlines. I'll think on that, but right now I need to finish some things in the background. Let's see. What do I want in the background? Maybe it doesn't need anything because that's not the focal point. So maybe I just need to leave it kind of not very obvious, so that these figures will stay the focal point. So now I'm back to trying to decide whether to outline them or not. And I guess since you already have the finished product you're looking at, you know what I'm going to do, but I don't. I think maybe I'll leave it the way it is. All right, so decision made. All right, well, thank you guys for watching, and hope you enjoyed it. Give it a try, and until next time, happy painting, and God bless you.